Hi, boys and girls. I know you're learning about different plants in science with Mrs. Williamson, and you're learning about fractions in math. So I have this book for you called Apple Fractions. It's written by Jerry Pilato and illustrated by Rob Bolster. Whoop. Here's our title page, and you can see all the different types of apples. And here is where apples grow, on the apple tree. This book is about apples and math. Apples are a fruit that we eat. They do not grow under rocks. They do not swim in the ocean. They are not made in a factory. Apples grow on trees. And here's a basket of all kinds of apples. Thousands of different types of apples are grown around the world. Apples can be red, yellow, green, or some combination of these three colors. Fractions. What is a fraction? A fraction is a part of a whole thing. A fraction is shown by placing one number over another number. A line separates the numbers. These are all different types of fractions. Now we're going to learn about different types of apples. The first apple here is a Macintosh. Here is one whole Macintosh apple. This type of apple can be both a drink and a snack. A Macintosh is very juicy, but it is also crunchy and fun to eat. If you would like to share one apple with someone, what would you do? 2 kids, 1 apple. A solution would be to divide the apple into 2 parts. A stem for one kid and the apple for the other kid. Nah, that's not fair. So you're going to have to cut that apple right in half, right? Okay, so here we have 1/2. How about a better way? Divide the apple into 2 equal parts. Here is 1/2 of the apple, and you flip over. Here is the other half of the apple. The 2 kids, 1 apple, 2 halves. Sharing apples and learning fractions is fun. And there you see both sides. Now here is a golden delicious apple. This apple is called a golden delicious. On the outside, it has a thin skin. On the inside, the fruit is soft. Now, what if 3 friends wanted to eat this apple? 3 friends, 1 apple, 3 equal parts. So you could see 1 part here, 1 part here, and 1 part here. So 3 over 3 gives you 1 whole, but you're going to divide the apple into 3 equal parts for your friends. Here is 1/3 of a golden delicious apple. Not all apples have white fruit. The inside of this apple is light yellow. Here is what is left over from 1 whole apple after taking away 1/3. 2/3. 1/3 plus 2/3 equals 3/3. 3/3 is a whole apple. And now you can see, hopefully. Granny Smith. This is a Granny Smith apple. Is it ripe? Yes. A Granny Smith is green, even when it is ripe, and ready to be picked off the tree. This apple is sometimes hard to chew. It is not sweet. It is a little sour. What if 4 people in a family wanted to eat 1 Granny Smith apple? The apple would need to be divided into 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each family member would get 1/4. The top number of a fraction is called the numerator. The numerator of this fraction is 1, because there's one piece and there's that 1 out of the 4 pieces of that apple. I'm not sure if you saw that. The bottom number of a fraction is called the denominator. The fraction 3/4 has a numerator of 3 and a denominator of 4. There's your 4. That's your denominator because there was a total of 4 pieces in the whole apple. And these are 3/4 of that Granny Smith apple. Red Delicious. Which apple tastes the best? Everyone has a favorite. Many people think the Red Delicious apple is the best looking and the best tasting. It is time to learn the parts of an apple: stem, skin, pulp, core, and seeds. Most apples have 10 seeds. Orange. This is not an apple. It is an orange. It is another fruit that you can enjoy while learning fractions. There is no need to cut it. Under the peel, it grows in wedges. Oranges grow in warm climates. Apples grow in cold climates. Now here's another type of apple called the Gala. A Gala is a medium-sized apple. It is about the size of your fist. The largest apples are as big as grapefruits. The smallest are the size of cherries. This Gala is cut into 5 equal pieces. Each piece is 1/5. 1/5 plus 4/5 equals 5/5. When the numbers above and below the line are the same, the fraction equals 1 whole. So 5/5, 1/1 equals the 1 whole. Now we're going to learn about some bees and the apple blossom. Apple trees grow flowers in the spring. Bees fly from flower to flower and spread pollen. This is the start of an apple. Thank you, bees. Without bees, there would be no apples. One-sixth of the bees is busy working. 5/6 of the bees are looking for another apple tree, or maybe even a pear tree, or a plum tree, or a cherry tree. So here's your 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/6. And here's your 1. Your 1/6. Your bee is on the apple blossom, and these are looking for more trees. Cortland. If you cut an apple sideways, you will notice that the core is shaped like a star. Dividing the apple sideways instead of from top to bottom will not give you equal parts. The top, the middle, and the bottom of an apple are each a different width. There are 3 basic types of apples: eating apples, juice apples, and baking apples. No matter how you slice it, a Cortland is a wonderful apple to use when baking a pie. And there's your Cortland apple cut into 7 slices. There's your denominator. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's your 1/7, and here are your 6/7. 1/7 plus 6/7 gives you your whole 7/7 apple. Asian pear. Sometimes looks can fool you. This fruit looks like an apple, it is shaped like an apple, but it tastes like a pear. Why? Because it is a pear. Let's use this Asian pear to learn about improper fractions. If this pear is divided into 8 equal pieces, each piece is 1/8 of the pear. A whole pear is 8/8. Imagine you have 9/8. 9/8 is an improper fraction. You would have to use 2 pairs to make 9/8. 9/8 is really 1 whole pear and 1/8 of a second pear. So here's your 1 whole pear, 8/8 is 1 whole, and then you would need your second pear for this 1/8 to make 9/8. 1/8 plus 8/8 equals your 9/8. Cider. What is the difference between cider and apple juice? Cider is squeezed from fresh apples. The liquid is tan and full of pulp. Apple juice is cider that has been filtered. The tan pulp is removed and the apple juice is clear. Are you thirsty? Would you like 1/4, 1/2, 3/4, or 1 whole glass of apple juice? Here are 10 apples. Oh well, actually there were 10 apples. Here are 9 apples. 1 has been eaten. 1/10 is now a core. This is your core. 9/10 are whole apples. So here's your 9/10. 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of your 10 whole apples are here. Your other apple is the core. The millions of tons of apples harvested every year are still picked by hand. Out of every 10 apples, 6 are eaten fresh. 2 out of every 10 are squeezed into cider and apple juice. The remaining 2 out of every 10 are made into canned apples, pie filling, jams, jellies, dried apples, and apple butter. While you were reading this book, someone was baking an apple pie. Let's eat a fraction of it. The end. And here's the back of the book that shows you the different fractions. We have 1 whole, 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, 1/5, 1/6, 1/7, 1/8, and then we have our 1/2 plus 1/2 gives you your 1 whole apple. So I hope you enjoyed apple fractions, and I hope you and your family are staying safe, and we'll see you soon. Have a great week.